Yo, what's good, everybody? Welcome back to Truth Talks. I am Krayzie Bone, and I got my two co-hosts in the building right now.
I am the bum Keith G.
I'm Angie.
Yes.
And like I said, welcome back to another episode of Truth Talks.
Truth Talks.
Where you will be hearing the real deal on any topic we talk about.
That's real, man.
And on this episode, we've been telling y'all about for a very long time.
Yeah.
The reason it's taking us so long to get it to y'all is because, you know, this topic is it's a very delicate topic.
Gotta get it right,
touchy,
baby.
Controversial.
Yeah.
You know, it rubs certain people
wrong way.
You know,
or the good way.
Yeah.
The topic tonight that we're going to be talking about is religion. Is there one true religion?
Mm-hmm.
Is the main question, you know, but before we get to that question, is there one true religion? There's a lot of things that a lot of information that we have to research and go over.
Yeah, man.
And, you know, with y'all right here, you know, as we doing investigating ourselves along with y'all, there's a lot of things we have to read. So we're probably going to have to do this in like
couple parts.
Yeah.
3-4 episodes because it's a lot of information, way more than we can cover in just 1 or 2 shows. So
Word, man.
That's why we're going to break it down in that. So, you know, if you're interested in this, it will benefit you greatly from what we're talking about. And even if you don't believe in God, if you choose to stay on here and listen to this program, then you probably would benefit. And who knows, you may hear a point of view on this show that you've never heard before.
Word, man.
And it might enlighten you, it might wake you up, it might spark something for you to go do your own research and you know, further research into why you don't believe.
That's just the topic of the conversation.
So,
share what we've been shared with, and and to not beat nobody over their head. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, this is a topic that, you know, when you talk about this topic, for some reason it causes people to fight each other. It causes people to drop bombs.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
You know, it causes everything opposite to what it's supposed to cause. It's supposed to bring people together. It's supposed to bring peace and unity and love, but it does the opposite.
Religion, like you say, and I agree. You just putting something in my head. It reminds me of a weapon. Religion could be a gun, depending on the person that picks the thing up. That's what it's going to service on that purpose. So it's not that they did. No, sometimes a bad man picks up a good thing and tries to manipulate that for his own system. You know, so this is what we going on and different things like that. You know, because religion in the right hands is. I'm not even going to say religion. But relationship with the Lord, we'll get into that as a minute. You know what I'm saying?
Because on this episode, we're just going to basically talk about religion in itself. Talk about a little bit of how it started.
Yeah, and what is religion?
If people can even explain how it started. You know, what it is and like what it means. And, you know, and like I said, eventually, by the time we're done talking about this topic, we'll come to, is there one true religion, after we went over all the information. So, first of all, what I want to do is I want to ask y'all is, do y'all have a religion or even believe in religion? Keith.
Myself, I'm going to try and be as brief as possible with this, but over the times of being a young kid, growing up, you know, going to church from a young age, so, you know, you kind of get indoctrinated into religion. Mm-hmm. Because you can get... it's not that we just ceremonies or this type of thing, but you can get a different perception of what God's trying to say. Religion can be based on something that's kind of keeping you at a programmed kind of base, where it's like keeping you at a distance. It's kind of, I don't know if it's even an introduction to God, but it's something. It gives you a spiritual background, but that's not enough. You want a relationship with somebody that you're going to be with forever. This is you talking about your eternity. You know, so I really don't want another man kind of dictating or standing in between those kind of things. Religion kind of put me at a thing of, made me feel I had to do this, I had to do that to get God's service and things like that, when that wasn't true. So I'm not sure. I'm not a religious person. I'm a spiritual person. Mm-hmm. And I know I love Christ as my Lord and Savior from my own mouth. But as far as the religion kind of it could kind of keep you in more of the rules than having the heart in it. That's if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's actually what I believe too. I mean, I'm not a religious person. I don't believe in religion, but I am spiritual, and I believe in a relationship with God more so than, the religion, being a Christian or being a Buddhist or being a, Jew or whatever, So, yeah, Keith basically summed it up because that's exactly what I believe too.
Yeah. I personally believe that there is one true religion. Jesus preached about, that's all he preached about was oneness.
Mm-hmm.
One true God.
Oh, yeah. Now, definitely one true God.
There's only one way through him, through God.
Yeah.
And if there is one true God, there has to be one true religion. If he said there's only one way through him.
Yeah. Well,
there has to be one true religion.
You know what? In face, dang, you're going to get a chance to jump back in again. But other than I guess I was just really trying to denounce every other thing but Christ. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
so I understand what you're saying on that.
Definitely.
He is the one true religion and that type of thing. Nobody else should have even used the word religion. You know what I'm saying? Because it kind of puts us in a...
Basic, right.
Make me not even be a part of it and disassociate that. Right. You see what it just did with me then too?
Yeah.
But I'm glad you said these things, what you're saying, because people need to know that that is one true religion, and that is the real one. But,
yes.
Right.
So because
he's the way, the truth, and the
because
light.
I feel like this because like there are some scriptures in the Bible, bro, that they were put there for a reason. Like God wouldn't tell you to walk on the narrow road because the wide road that everybody else is on leads to everlasting destruction.
Word.
He would be like, take whatever road you want to take.
Yeah.
Take whatever road you want to take. They all lead to me.
Yep.
But he didn't say that because they don't.
Yeah, they don't.
It's true.
They sure don't.
Yeah,
and man is right now
Yeah.
trying to make it seem
exactly. Oh, it don't matter what you believe.
That's,
as long as it's in your heart or this or that. You don't have to really worry about it.
I looked into your face. That's a part of the Luciferian doctrine, where they want people to have shades of peace, shades of things like do your own thing, acceptance for everybody.
As long as you have peace in your heart,
they can't be of God if they're not accepting you. Yes, man.
Right. As long as you have peace in your heart, then you're good. No, bro.
Then what that does now you just did self-justification right there. You just became God talking about what you're doing is good. You justify your own self. We can't Christ justified us. You know what I'm saying? So the Luciferian doctrines does want us to justify ourselves and our own self-worth.
Right.
And there's a scripture in the Bible that says that you shouldn't look over the opportunity to congregate with your fellow believers. That's your religion. Your fellow believers.
Yeah.
So that's what makes up the religion, bro. Like anytime
I wrote that right there. Leatherface is what you saying, bro. So not forsake to assemble.
So it's just being said to me, I feel that it was originated by Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And everything after that was taken from what he brought to the table, and everybody made it fit them, how they feel fit.
Yeah, if you inform you against him, anything against his word, he said that is an antichrist. And no, that's you 100% right. That's 100. I'm glad you said it like that because what we're trying to do is rightly divide the truth, and I'm glad we're all here trying to do this in the same mind state. The Lord's Spirit gonna carry the words and stuff like that. But I'm glad my man said that right there because it's very important to divide things, so you're clear about whatever it is that you're listening to right now.
Yes, indeed.
That's very important, bro.
A lot of people, these days say they question their religion, because of all the misinformation that they're given. It just don't make sense to a lot of people. Some people just ride with it. Some people, like for years, people just listen to what people tell them without checking for themselves.
Yes,
they just listen blindly, follow blindly. But there are some people that are waking up these days. If you notice, they're saying church attendance is at an all-time low. People.
It was written too. There'll be a great falling away from the church in the last days.
It's at an all-time low.
It's in the Bible.
You know what I'm saying? And if you're a person that has ever questions your religion, then you know what I'm saying, you don't need to feel bad about that, because you honestly should question your religion.
Yeah.
Just like we saying, you know what I'm saying? It may not seem serious to a lot of people because they don't look at God and religion as being something real.
Mm-hmm.
Or they listen to what everybody say, oh, religion is this, or religion is that. The Bible ain't real. Man wrote it.
White man wrote it. That's the main.
Yeah, that's the main thing you hear all the time.
They hear
human hurt.
They hear all these
hands.
things, and it make people like, okay, I'm gonna stay away from that, without checking for themselves.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, have you ever wanted to go see a movie?
Yeah.
And everybody, oh man, that movie was stupid. Don't go see it. You wait till it come home.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't seen the movie and you love the movie.
Yeah, love the movie, man.
You love the movie because you didn't let somebody else judge for you. Exactly. It's the same thing. This is your life. This ain't some movie we talking about.
Yeah. Now that was a light version of it. Tell them the real. This your life.
We talking about your life is at stake with this. This is life and death. So just like if you was about to have surgery, like if you was going to have a life-threatening surgery, and you was looking for a doctor, you're going to look for a doctor that you can trust, that has a track record of saving more people on his watch than people dying on his watch. You're going to want to make sure that this dude is qualified.
Yeah,
he is who he says he is.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
And talk to a few people that actually went to see him.
The same thing. It should be the same way when you're dealing with something as serious as religion and your creator, the person that created you.
And your salvation.
Right. And the person that created you and the person that's going to save you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be just as important as these other things.
No, I done seen people pay more attention to renter's insurance.
Because like we said, you know,
life insurance, for real.
True.
Right. Because like we said, your spirituality, whether some people want to believe it or not, that's the most important thing in your life. Yeah. If you have your spirituality on track, then your mental, you'll be on track mentally. You'll mentally be able to take care of yourself physically and financially,
emotionally,
and emotionally in the proper ways that you need to. Because you were not meant to live your life apart from God and without Him helping you and guiding you, telling you which way you're supposed to go.
Matter of fact, if
it was not meant.
Matter of fact, anything outside of that is dangerous.
Exactly.
Anything outside of His guidance and His protection and looking out for you is dangerous. And a man that thinks he can do it on his own, which is the fake religion.
Yeah.
You're trying to do something. Ain't nothing you can do without God. Now God said that, not no thing. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to try it, men keep on trying. But religion sometimes will teach you that you can do these things in your pursuit of happiness.
Right, so you don't want to be putting your life in the hands of somebody you don't have the best, who don't have your best interests at heart. You know what I'm saying? Because they themselves have been misinformed. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I want to. There's this book that was published by JW.org, Jehovah's Witnesses. It's called Mankind's Search for God, and it has a chapter in there where they talk about, the name of the chapter is how did religion start? How did religion how did it begin? You know what I'm saying?
What did it say?
It's interesting. The very first paragraph is very interesting because it says, the history of religion is as old as the history of man himself. That is what archaeologists and anthropologists tells us.
Wow.
Even among the most primitive, that is to say, undeveloped civilizations, there is found evidence of worship of some form. In fact, the New Encyclopedia Britannica says that as far as scholars have discovered, there has never existed any people anywhere at any time who were not in some sense religious. People have always had a sense of God. Always.
That's funny you say that. That's why I was on the piggyback of the anthropologist word, because the dude E.B. Taylor, he's an anthropologist also, and he's the one who came up with the saying that religion is documenting spiritual concepts.
But,
and that was way back in those days, like you said.
Yeah, it's a whole bunch of stuff in here. You know, this says these things. You know, it's just so that's telling you right now, man, that God originated with humans.
Oh yeah,
God originated with us. It wasn't no Big Bang Theory.
No,
you know what? I ain't gonna say the word.
Yeah, I'm about to say if I can cuss at the same time as that.
Big Bang Theory, nothing, bro.
That don't happen.
I don't. Y'all, they can't even explain that theory all the way out. They get to a certain point. They get to a certain point and they say the rest is not to be figured out.
Mm-hmm.
No.
It don't make sense.
God takes you from here to there
fully
and explains to you, and it makes logical sense from point A to Z. It makes points.
Yeah.
See, what people don't realize is the Bible don't contradict itself. The Bible is in fact on point from the front to the back. It has the same message throughout the whole book. The message is God's kingdom.
Period.
Yeah.
What you need to do to get there. Why everything is messed up.
Yep.
How it is right now.
And the free gift that he gave us through his son.
That's what the Bible is about. For those of you who have not read it and that have let people tell you that it contradicts itself and that or that it's out of date or that it don't apply to us in our times, is a flat out liar.
If I was an enemy, I'd say the same thing. But in all trueness, the Bible is a beautiful love story to man.
It is.
From our Father. If you really read that, he's concerned about us throughout the whole time. That's the whole thing I get from it. I tell it to you like this. Now, one thing he said in the Bible too, and y'all prove it if you want to, listeners. He said he made peace through man, that he never flood the world again. So he made a rainbow. I guarantee you, if you go get you a water hose and you put it up towards the sun and let it do like that, you're going to see a rainbow. Every time you see water like that, you're going to see a rainbow, bro. And it just comes out of it don't come out of nowhere. That's just how God planned that. You know what I'm saying? So it's I know that this world keeps us that's what religion does too. It keeps us from having a personal relationship with God know these things. The world keeps us so busy that you don't even have time to be thinking about you thinking about rent and bills, and I got to get off across the freeway and get the kids fed and go back in here and try and do something for myself on the weekend.
Worldly things.
Everything's so crammed up that it gets you so off balance. So about time someone says something like this to you, you like, that ain't true.
So I just looked this up on the internet right now while y'all was talking, which made totally perfect sense. I was looking up on the internet. It says,
dang,
throughout the worldwide, according to some estimates, there are roughly 4,200 religions in the world.
Wow.
The word religion is sometimes used interchangeably with faith or belief system, but religion differs from private belief in that it has a public aspect. Now, it's saying about all the different religions. Now, again, and that's why this book here, what I was reading, it says all these religions. It says. And the second paragraph says, besides its iniquity, religion also exists in great variety. Then it breaks down like the different ones. The headhunters in the jungles of Borneo, the Eskimos in frozen Arctic, the nomads in the Sahara Desert, the urban dwellers in the great metropolises of the world. Every people in every nation on earth has its god or gods and its way of worship. The diversity in religion is truly staggering. So, logically, question comes to mind, from where did all these religions come from? Since there are marked differences as well as similarities among them, did they start independently, or did they come from, or could they have developed from one source? Now, that's what we was talking about earlier.
There's a thing that the religion was going to be based, and it was going to try to be spread all out. There's an enemy, as we know. You know what I'm saying? Satan, the devil. He's going to try to pervert and scatter anything what God tries to do. Is what he's going to try and do. So I mean, there's this thing called apotheosis, and that's man's becoming God. That's the idea that these world leaders have. You know what I'm saying? The ones that make religions and have different religions that's going on right now. They have a thought process that's given by Luciferian doctrine that they are going to be able to be superhumans and things like that. So they got their own religion. They have something that they do believe in. It's just not what we believe in, you know, just like these other different ones. So they they want to worship the sun god and the moon god and this damn God. Our true living God is all of that. Yeah. But a lot of the fallen angels have fell and they were doing wondrous things, and men was thinking that they was gods. So they worshiping these fallen angels. You know what I'm saying? Who know who the true and living power is, but these things make certain religions because some of these angels giving these people different ideas and things about their culture, giving them advancements. That's what men got, sciences and philosophies and stuff like that, mathematics. Right. You know what I'm saying? All that comes from higher intelligence that shouldn't have been for them. So they worship these kind of things, thinking that intelligence, and that's why they call themselves the esoteric people, the Illuminations, the Illuminatis, things of that. The devil, pretends to be as a angel of the light. You know what I'm saying? That's why they use that Illuminati kind of situation, but he's not. These people aren't they're not enlightened. Yeah, they're darker than they think that they're smart, but they ain't. You know what I'm saying? This is the worst thing. So religion, they have religion. One day it's going to be a religion that comes with the Antichrist on top of his price. People are going to accept that. They're actually going to vote this man into office. That's just another thing for voting out there. That's another subject we'll come with.
It says, when it comes to the question of origin, people of different religions think of names such as Muhammad, the Buddha, Confucius, and Jesus. In almost every religion, we can find a central figure to whom credit is given for establishing the true faith. Some of these were iconoclastic reformers. Others were moralistic and philosophers. Still others were selfless folk heroes. Many of them have left behind writings or sayings that form the basis of a new religion. In time, what they said and did was elaborated, embellished, and even given mystic aura. Some of these leaders were even deified. Even though these individuals are considered founders of the major religions that we are familiar with, it must be noted they did not actually originate religion. In most cases, their teachings grew out of existing religious ideas. Even though most of these founders claimed divine inspiration as their source, or they changed and modified existing religious systems that had become unsatisfactory in one way or the other. So what these people did, they were unsatisfied with what this religion was teaching them. Right. So they took it upon themselves to take something from what they were being taught and start their own sect or division. Exactly.
That's what we stand for.
You know what I'm saying? People like
just backwards.
People like the people they name. You know what I'm saying? When it says, for example, as accurately as historians can tell us, the Buddha had been a prince who was appalled by the suffering and deplorable conditions he found surrounding him in a society dominated by Hinduism. Buddhism was the result of his search for a solution of life's agonizing problems. Similarly, Muhammad was highly disturbed by the adultery and immorality he saw in the religious practices around him. He later claimed to have received special revelations from God which formed the Quran and became the basis of the new religious movement, Islam. Protestantism grew out of Catholicism as a result of Reformation that began in the early 16th century, when Martin Luther protested the sale of indulgences by the Catholic Church at the time. So all these Baptists and Catholic, they all came from the Catholic Church. It was people that wasn't happy with what the Catholic Church was doing. So they went and started their own little Baptist, Buddha, Protestant, whatever those other ones are. They went and started their own little...
up in Utah, Mormons,
anything. They went and started their own little... went and started their own little sects.
Yo, matter of fact, I'm gonna pause on that Protestant thing you're saying real quick, because even to vote back in the day, and to even be, you had to be a white Anglo-Saxon Protestant landowner even just to vote. They had the things set for their own little situation, man. It gets deeper. Keep going, man.
Yeah, no, but it just says here that, you know, it's no lack of information for religions these days regarding their origin and development, the founders, their sacred writings, and so on, and knowing exactly when they started. But then it goes on to say, what about the religions that existed before them, and the ones even before those? If we go back far enough in history, we will sooner or later be confronted with the question, how did religion really begin? You know what I'm saying? It's many theories. People have many theories, like you were saying.
Mm-hmm.
And some of these theories are crazy, bro. Just like you were saying, there was this dude, hold on, what was his name? There was this dude.
Thousands of them cats.
Yeah.
Because they all out there with that trying to...
Okay, yeah, so this is when the theory of evolution came about. They said during the 19th century, however, the picture began to change.
Yeah, Darwin.
The picture began to change. The theory of evolution was sweeping through intellectual circles. That, along with the advent of scientific inquiry, caused many to question established systems, including religion. Recognizing the limitations of looking for clues within existing religions, some scholars turn to the remains of earthly civilizations, or to the remote corners of the world where people still lived in primitive societies. They tried to apply to these methods of psychology, sociology, anthropology, and so forth, hoping to discover clues as to how religion began and why. But they were never really able to see how to find out
how it started.
Yeah, how religion started. A theory commonly from a dude named Edward Tyler. Lived from 1832 to 1972. He suggested that experiences such as dreams and visions and hallucinations and lifelessness of a corpse caused primitive people to conclude that the body is inhabited by a soul. According to this theory, since they frequently dreamed about their deceased loved ones, they assumed that a soul continued living after death, that it left the body and dwelled in trees, rocks, rivers, and so on. Eventually, the dead and the objects the souls were said to inhabit came to be worshipped as gods, and thus, said Tyler, religion was born. That's the crazy. That's the crazy stuff I heard. Like, I've never heard that.
Yeah,
that's
me
in
neither.
No. I didn't. I'm saying that I read some same dude,
before.
the E.B. Tyler dude. You know, so but. No, I didn't get that part. I never heard that too. That's different.
Then it was another dude, another English anthropologist, R.R. Merritt, from 1866 to 1943, proposed a refinement of animism. I've never heard of that before in my life.
Me too.
Animism?
I'm at that. See what that is.
Which he called animism. So he changed. So he tried to remix
from animism to animism.
He remixed animism to animatism. After studying the beliefs of the Melanesians of the Pacific Islands and the natives of Africa and America, Merritt concluded that instead of having the notion of a personal soul, primitive people believed that there was an impersonal force or supernatural power that animated everything. That belief evoked emotions of awe and fear in man, which became the basis for primitive religions. To Merritt, religion was mainly man's emotional response to the unknown. His favorite statement was that religion was not so much thought out as danced out. So it's many crazy theories, bro. It says it's been numerous other theories that attempted to explain the origin of the origin of religion could be cited, but most of them they say been forgotten because they're out of date.
Yeah, man. it's just the religious whole thing. I mean, even when Christ walked in the earth, the religious guys, the scribes and Pharisees, the Sanhedrin Council, the people who were going after the Mosaic law or thinking what they thinking, they so religious they didn't even see who Jesus was and when he walked the earth amongst them. They didn't even realize who he was because they were so religious. Yeah. They walking up on him asking him questions like, why are you eating and you and your disciples eating without washing your hands? They hit him with stuff like that with religious things. They were
man-made. Yeah. They were going by their man-made tradition.
And he looking at them like, yo.
Or they didn't want to believe that he was replacing Moses.
Mm-hmm. But at the same time, look what they're keeping. He looking at them like, I may not have washed my hands, but I'm clean on the inside. Exactly. You walking around with these big robes on, like you're clean on the outside, you're just as dirty as a cup on the inside.
Exactly.
You're hiding and you're fronting. So religion can leave room in the front to make you think that I'm good. But out the back though, I'm doing some things that have nothing with the heart in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's what's going on with a lot of these religions that man make right now, and it's a tax-free organization too, so that you can go into there and you don't have to pay any taxes too on top of that. So the government thrives off of doing that. That's why I believe they give away a section like that, because they want to establish a lot of religions to confuse which is the true religion. That's just a thought that I'm thinking. May not be true. That's just a thought.
So because of all the uncertainties, and all the different theories and all the books that's been written, the book, it's a book, The World Religions, from ancient history to the present. They say that the modern historians of religions know that it is impossible to reach the origin of religion. You know what I'm saying? Regarding the historian's efforts, however, the book makes this observation. In the past, too many theorists was concerned not simply to describe or explain religion, but to explain it away, feeling that if the early forms were shown to be based upon illusions, then the latter and higher religions must be undermined.
Yeah.
And that last comment lies the clue as to why various scientific investigators of the origin of religion have not come up with any tenable explanation. Logic tells us that correct conclusions can be deduced only from a correct premise. If one starts off with faulty premise, it is unlikely that one will reach a sound conclusion.
Mm-hmm.
Repeated failure. You know what I'm saying? So
can't start off lying.
And it says the repeated failure of scientific investigators to come up with a reasonable explanation casts serious doubts on the premise upon they base their views. By following their preconceived notion and their effects to explain religion away, they have actually attempted to explain God away.
Yeah, attempted.
Right. So they've attempted to explain God away.
Science was always here to really try to go against what the word of the Lord say. You know what I'm saying? Science was always to try to back something with fact to give to people away from God, like how he's saying. Like, no, exactly. That didn't happen. That didn't. No, there had to be a bang. They're trying to make conclusions. They're trying to rationalize something that their mind can't even rationalize. Yeah. And I don't believe the people went for it. I really don't. I don't believe people went for it, because it's a whole lot of people that believe that there was a Big Bang Theory still to this day.
Oh yeah, there's lots of people that believe that.
I want to read this last little thing from this book, and then we can just go, just talk about, like going to different parts of it. But it says, why is man religious? John B. Noss points out in his book, Man's Religion. All religions say in one way or another that man does not and cannot stand alone. He is vitally related with and even dependent on powers in nature and society external of himself. Dimly or clearly, he knows that he is not an independent center of force capable of standing apart from the world. Similarly, the book World Religion, from ancient history to the present, says, the study of religion reveals that an important figure of it is a longing for value in life, a belief that life is not accidental or meaningless. The source for The source for meaning leads to faith in a power greater than the human, and finally to a universal or superhuman mind, which has the intention and will to maintain the highest values for human life. So religion satisfies a basic human need, much as food satisfies our hunger. We know that eating indiscriminately when we are hungry may stop the pangs of hunger. In the long run, however, it will damage our health. To lead a healthy life, we need food that is wholesome and nutritious. Likewise, we need wholesome spiritual food to maintain our spiritual health.
Yeah.
That is why the Bible tells us, not by bread alone does man live, but by every expression of Jehovah's mouth.
Word of the Lord.
Yes.
Bottom line. So, with that being said, this is a book right here that I think everybody may want to look into. You know what I'm saying? You could get it from the Organization of Jehovah's Witnesses. You don't have to pay for it. All their literature is free. You don't have to pay for nothing. It's all free. It's all free. Also, it's some real good information in there. You know what I'm saying? Like for people of all religions. You know what I'm saying? Like from wherever walk of life you come from. You know, it's just not. You know, like a certain thing.
I like it. I like what's being, you know what I'm saying, said right now. I hope people can take these words or take what's being said and know it's not trying to be crushed down your throat or nothing like that. It's not trying to be we on some kind of soapbox, even though we are on Digital Soapbox Network. On
yeah,
CBS.
it is.
Right, yeah.
But it's not nothing like that. This is an opinion. Not just an opinion. This is truth.
Yeah,
this is something that God gave to us, and we just sharing
and
it.
This is nothing.
We're sharing it with you, man. And we're not trying to be like, because in these days and times, homie, it's a lot of people who come with a lot of information for you. There's gonna be people that will come with information to discredit everything I'm saying and Krayzie saying and Angie saying to y'all right now, because that's the way the enemy works. But you know, the prayer is, and the reason why we're doing this, we hope that it spreads to somebody, and then you investigate your relationship with God and His Son Christ Jesus just a little bit more before you leave this earth.
Yeah,
that's the goal.
Now, getting back to the point where we were saying that, you know, you shouldn't feel bad about questioning your religion. You should question it, you know, because you need to, because there are standards. You know, it's not like. When we telling you this, it's not like, oh my God, this is about to be a mission for me to find who the true God is. Yeah. I'm about to have to go through and do all this stuff. It's not really difficult. Hard. Because, like I told you, if you sit and you pray to God, and you pray to Him sincerely from your heart, and you tell Him that you're trying to know Him, He will reveal Himself in truth to you.
Oh yeah, hey dude, let me
you just have to realize when He's talking to you, and what He's saying. It could be a knock on your door, it could be a phone call, it could be something you pick up that you wouldn't even gonna pick up and read to read.
A billboard on a bus.
It comes like that. Yeah. Of course, God ain't gonna whisper in your ear, "Hey man, you're messing up. You need to do this." No, but He talks to you subliminally. He's in your conscience.
He's anxious.
When your conscience is talking to you, who you think that is?
That's Him.
That's Him. Like,
He love us more than what we've been taught. He now see what He did was thought about. You know, somebody ever dogged you before? You like, man, I ain't never coming to get you. Imagine that. See, we dog him. He was able to see all that kind of stuff. He's seen from like my man said, A to Z. So he's seen every sin I was able to do. Even the ones I'm going to do next week and year, you know what I'm saying? God forbid. He's seen all that trashy stuff I do. And he still say, Keith G, come on. That's somebody that you got to love you in the midst of your things, because he sees that you don't understand these things, and he's giving you ways to come to him and giving you time. And that's for everybody. He didn't exclude. Once he had his son do what he did, that was for everybody. That wasn't closed in for like, okay, I'm only going to give this to good people. See, now, outside religions will kind of teach you have to be good for God to mess with you. That's not true. God didn't come, He didn't send His son Jesus he said, I didn't come for the righteous. I came for the unrighteous. I came for the ones who don't know who I am.
Yeah, but you have to be careful how you explain it.
Yeah, and you know what?
You have to be very careful how you explain it. That's not to say that you
here's
can
a black card and go do anything.
That's not to say that you can continue doing what you're doing. Because once you come to because once you come to a point, once you come to an accurate knowledge of God, anything you do that rebels against Him, you are doing it because you want to.
Yeah. And
because
you know what? That's
you have that proper knowledge.
That's true.
You're doing it on your own will.
That's real.
You're doing it because you're explaining to yourself, "Oh, God's going to forgive me for this, so I can do it."
Yep.
Yeah.
That's not how it works.
That's sin in itself too.
That's not how it works.
I'm glad you stopped to say that too, and that is very true. You would only do something because you want to. Because once you do accept Christ, once you're with God like that, you're not a slave to sin no more. You're not a slave to it. Dog, Creflo said the same thing what you just said this morning, bro. He said, you know why people, he said people are wondering why that God's in their life and they can still do this. He said, you only do it because you want to.
Exactly.
There's no
exactly.
Now Satan does not have power over you. He can set the table.
Exactly. That's the same thing.
You don't have to do it.
That's the same thing with It's the same thing with the devil. You know what I'm saying? Like people be saying the devil made me do it. No, he ain't made you do nothing. You chose to do it after he showed you what you could have. Yeah. That's why. That's why.
Yeah, man.
Adam and Eve was punished the way they were punished because Satan didn't make them. He didn't make them. He didn't make them eat that fruit. He told them something that made them think selfishly. He told them, y'all could be just like God.
Yeah.
He don't want y'all to know that. Go and eat that fruit, man.
Yeah. You have the knowledge of good and evil.
You know what? I'm glad you said that.
But what happened to them? Who was the liar?
Yeah.
Where they at now?
But look, that is
they wasn't supposed to die.
That is a part of the whole. That's the standard of the whole Luciferian doctrine, to get man to think that God is trying to keep you from knowledge.
Yeah.
That was the thing. What he was trying to let people know, like God is mean. He doesn't want you to be smart as him. Yeah. Now we want to teach something like that. When God say, "Look here, I'm gonna give you this woman. First of all, I'm gonna let you name all these animals." Then I look down and say, "You know what? You need somebody." He made him a fine woman, bro. The only reason I say Eve was fine because when God do something, he don't play. You know how he get down. This is the first woman ever. She had to be bad. So this is God's intent. You don't work. You don't do nothing. You naming animals and you just walking around the place and enjoy your relationship. Be fruitful, multiply. That's what he told him and her. Eat from the stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Except from that tree.
Now you're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands of trees in this paradise. You know what I'm saying? In the Garden of Eden wasn't no joke. That place was set up and perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? A habitat that was just on some more where God can come and check. Well, how y'all doing? What's happening? They was cohabitating with God like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's why dude want to come trick him out of. He's doing the same thing to us.
So
trying to trick us out of our relationship with God that we already have. He trying to get us to want other things and not be satisfied that, hey, we have a Savior that saved us.
Right.
He wants us to skip over and say, yeah, that's cool, but I want a mansion.
Right.
That's cool, but I want this Benz. I want you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Instead of like
being thankful for what you have.
So for people that don't know, for people that's, you know, like, you probably asking yourself, you know, like how, because it's a lot of stuff out here, like just everything we read to you from all the theories, the different religions, the 4,200 different religions. There's a lot to get lost in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot to get lost in, but like I said, God never makes. God always makes a way out. Always got a ram in the bush. He always makes a way out. You know what I'm saying? And Jesus gave, when Jesus was alive, he gave us a standard for a lot of things. How to pray. He gave us a standard. That prayer that's in the Bible. You're not supposed to just recite that prayer every day, just like they recite the
flag,
the national anthem. It's not supposed to be repetitory like that. It's not. Not repetitory. Repetitive. It's not supposed to be like that. You're supposed to pour your heart out to God. Exactly what's on your mind.
Right. Like you're speaking to
It ain't supposed to be nothing with her like, And then God, Father in heaven, I walk through the shadow of death. No, it's not supposed to be all that.
And just to even piggyback on my homie saying, now you don't call your wife or you don't call a relationship with a friend and say the exact same thing. You do the same thing with God. I may do the model prayer of what Jesus taught us to say, and then I'm going to freestyle. I'm an artist, I'm a rapper, so I say freestyle. Then I'm going to tell God what's all on my heart and everything, and that's what I do. I talk to him just like, the matter of fact, I've learned to talk to him all through the day, but I'm saying when I do like formally get at nighttime or whatever on my knees, or if I'm in the morning or whichever way, I'm going to pray the Lord's Prayer. And then I'm going to say everything that I mean to him personally, because of love. My wife don't want me to hear me say the same poem to her every day with no feeling in it, because then it does get repetitive and it gets kind of just old. Like I'm regurgitating something. Yeah. I'm just saying, well, this and that and that's that.
And God also gave us examples. Like I said, he doesn't expect us to do something and he hasn't given us any direction. All the direction is there, and he's not going to give us something that he know we cannot fulfill.
Oh no.
This is why all these examples and all these things are put in the Bible, so that we can see these things and see how these people overcame their trials and their tribulations by staying close to God.
Yeah.
And by those who didn't, they failed terribly.
Terrible. And see grace.
Even to the point of losing their lives. Now, Jesus gave us a standard when he was alive, what we could look for when you were looking to see if a religion was teaching what it's supposed to be teaching. And he said that each tree is known by his own fruit. And that simply means that when you look at all these different religions, what do they represent? What kind of people are they producing? You know what I'm saying? Are these religious leaders overly concerned about money? All they concerned about is that basket going around. You know what I'm saying? Or do the members actually follow what the Bible says about war and morals and marriage? Do they respect the marriage arrangement as being something from God? There's a lot of people that go to church. Bruh, there's a lot of people that go to church that as soon as they leave church, they go back to their normal, sinful lives. Yep. They have not learned anything. It's like they go there just to be counted, like you go to school just to be marked present. Here,
because sometimes, as we saying like this too, religion can teach you that, you know what, I went to church Sunday and I did my thing. Now
exactly.
Now I'm good for the rest of the week.
Because it's like, for the rest of the week,
ladies and gentlemen,
I ain't thought about nothing.
Throughout this whole topic, our key secret word. Hell, we might even scream every time we hear this word, just like Pee Wee's Playhouse. But the key word here throughout this whole topic is misinformed. Misinformation, because that's the main point why everybody's confused. It's because there's a lot of misinformation being passed around by these people who claim to be in charge of our lives.
Now I tell you like this, for instance, if you're a prince, Krayzie, if you're a prince, but you're born in an orphanage, you know what I'm saying? I know you're a prince though, you know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to do everything I can to keep you from reading any book that has your family's photos in it. I'm keeping you away from museums, libraries. I'm trying to keep you out the public eye, because I don't want him to never know he's a prince, because he won't act like my slave no more.
Exactly.
Once they try to detach us from our Father, who we God's children, they want to detach us from that so we don't act like God's children. You know what I'm saying? That's the main thing that they've done and do. People do that, but I'm thanking him for not letting man sever that relationship from him and me.
In another way, these religious leaders have been misinforming their flock. They've been misshepherding their flock. You know what I'm saying? Because there is no way that Christians from America should be taking up arms and going to war, killing a Christian from another country. I don't care what country they're from.
Never that.
And if you're a Christian, you're serving the same God. How are you killing your brother that is serving the exact same God that you're supposed to be serving? They're not informing you the correct way. As a matter of fact, there are some examples that I want to read on here.
Talk to us.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as I find them, As soon as I find it.
They keep that patriotic kind of diplomacy to make you feel it's some way out stuff going on, not just in America, man, but just the way that this religion do, man.
Okay, so this is regarding. This is what somebody said. These are real people's comments from the JW.org website. These are real people's comments, and it's can you trust religion regarding morals? So let's see what these people let's see what these religious leaders are teaching their members about morals in their churches.
Right.
One person said, I went to college with many who claim to be religious, says Sylvia, who works in the healthcare business. Yet they cheated on tests and took illegal drugs. Religion had no effect on their personal lives. A man named Lionel states, my workmates lie and call in sick when they are not really sick. Religion is something they have but don't use, like a piece of furniture just for show. It's crazy because religion doesn't really these days religion doesn't really move people to want to know God, because the teachings, because what they're being taught, again, these teachers are not setting the correct examples. They're not giving them the proper counsel. That's teaching them how to live morally. And that's why so many people feel like that God don't care about anything that goes on down here, or that he's not concerned about our lives. Because the way that they're teaching these people these things, bro, and then, bro, just think how you feel if you meet somebody tells you that they're this and they're that, like they're this and that. Same way I felt like when I got into the music business. I looked up to a lot of these people, but then when you meet them and you find out who they are, you're like,
right.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
That's not how it's supposed to be.
Got in what you stand for.
You painted a fake picture, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you
created a facade.
Yeah, so it's like, it's not supposed to be like that. You know what I'm saying? And people need to know and understand that God is like really alive.
Man,
he's real. You know what I'm saying?
The only true and living God. His son sitting right next to him. Yo, this is one thing too. When Paul, when he was Saul, he seen that. When Stephen was getting stoned, that was the only time it's recorded in the Bible that Jesus stood up. This after he went back, after he descended back. He said that the heavens opened, and Jesus was standing. You know what I'm saying? That's when Stephen was getting stoned right there, and Saul was holding the coast.
Talking about morals. These, a lot of these organizations, they don't have any discipline to when their members do stuff that throws off the congregation. They don't have any discipline for people who don't follow. You know what I'm saying? It has to be some type of discipline, just like you discipline your child. God has discipline set. That's why he made rules. Like y'all was saying, y'all said religion is laws, but God made those laws to govern us. There has to be laws. There are laws. The whole universe is governed by laws. If you break one of those laws, everything is off.
Yeah.
Everything is off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, you can't break them.
You can't.
You can't break those laws.
No one was able to. This is why I say we was talking when Adam did what he did. Adam's one sin brought all man born into sin. That's why one thing with Jesus was the only one that was able to be a man that was able to keep those laws. God knew men couldn't keep those laws. When men had to have some establishment. But what God did, he's like, I'm going to use this law to let you understand how imperfect you are and how perfect that I am. So I want you to be, I'm giving you a guideline like this, but I'm also going to give you a savior also too. Because you can't keep these laws. Now, righteous people, self-righteous people want to still kind of go by those things and say, I'm keeping the laws. But like my man just said, if you break one, you've broken them all. So I can't say I've kept 99 laws and then, I just missed one. My self-righteousness may tell me, it's okay to just like, because God, like, if you want to keep all those,
like,
I'll
honestly,
keep that.
Just like honestly, to make people feel even a little better about if they feel like we talk a little too much about, homosexuals.
Yeah.
You know, with that being said, I could tell y'all this. We mention this stuff because it's what God said, but there's laws that we don't follow too.
Word.
And when we talk about these things, we're not talking about just y'all. If you notice, I always say we have to research. We have to ask questions.
It's always a we.
It's we. I'm not acting like I'm over here and
right.
y'all doing bad. Let me fix yourself.
And I'm glad you said that.
There's a lot of things I need to work on myself, but I'm learning more, and I'm starting to see like, yo, they've been trapping us, son.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for real though.
They've been trapping us. The smoke and mirrors is real.
Yeah,
it's real.
Yeah.
Like for real.
And so we all got something we doing. So yeah, it ain't to paint no picture about just homosexuals. It's just going to this and that. Nah, because that's not the situation of that. What it is just like, hey, it's what sticks on the wall, man. Everybody being coming in with something that's custom fit and tailor made to what they like. You know what I'm saying? Your objective is to ask the Lord for enough faith and enough of His strength to resist, and the enemy has to flee.
Temptation. Yep.
I want to read this next example about,
still practicing that.
Can you trust religion regarding war? The second one, so here's another example from real people. It says, Alberto served in the army for almost 10 years, he recalls. Our chaplain blessed us, saying, God is with you. But I wondered, am I going out to kill, yet the Bible says, you shall not kill. Ray was in the Navy during World War II. Once he asked the chaplain, you come onto our ship and pray for the troops and for victory. Doesn't the enemy have the same arrangement? The chaplain answered that the Lord works in mysterious ways. If that answer does not satisfy you, you are not alone. Bottom line, because why would God tell you to love thy neighbor? This is the most important commandment after love God.
Yep, that's it. That's the
so
new
why would
commandment.
He tell you to love thy neighbor and at the same time go kill him dead and let me sort them out? Cut the games.
Yeah, that's man and his prophet. Because man, war is to finance war. You talking about a lot of money, bro. So war always makes money. That's why it's always gonna be a war. So war going on. If they ain't coming out of a war, it's one being planned right now because it's economics.
And Angie, I know you were in the Navy, correct?
Yes.
My little brother is in the Navy as well. And I know, like people in the military feel a certain way about, like what I just read about, like the people in the military saying that. But how you feel about it?
Yeah, like you said, I mean, it is kind of a touchier subject when it comes to, people who have served or people who know people who have served or, whatever. But for me, I feel like there was something we said. I'm trying to remember. We said something and I piggybacked off of that because what was it? Y'all remember?
From the war? The war?
Yeah, from the war, but it was from one of them verses that we read. It was
oh yes, you know what?
Yeah, you remember? Because I.
Okay, hold on, wait. I think I can find it.
I sure don't remember.
It was like, I don't think it was the love thy neighbor.
Oh no.
It was
what I know exactly what you're saying. When he said, there is no love greater than when a friend lays down his life on behalf of his friend.
Yes.
And he said, I call you friend.
Yes.
That's what Jesus
said.
And
and so I look at it as that way. I went and served in the military to protect my friends and my family. And to me, that's God's love shining through me, showing that, this is how much I love y'all, and this is what I would do for y'all, and this is how much I would sacrifice for y'all. Because I feel like that's what God did for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He laid down his life for all of us.
And that's an interesting way to look at it. And I know that's how many of the troops or people who enlist look at it. My thing is this. I know that's not how the people that's sending these people out there is looking at it.
Definitely.
They're looking at it as a as a greedy point of view. They're not going out there fighting these wars on behalf of God.
No,
trying to establish God's sovereignty.
And
they're trying to establish their sovereignty over these other countries.
Right.
This is why war has always been like, it's crazy how, when I hear them say that the God bless America
and nowhere else,
and he's up, but America is not but America is not the only country that says it.
Yeah,
all these other countries say the same thing. God bless Russia, or you know what I'm saying, like, and bro, they got it twisted.
That's why you never want to hear from. I never trust a man that don't say.
They got it twisted.
Even when our presidents say it here, you know what I'm saying,
I
in
know.
America,
I'm
I say that, and I say
the
to
first
myself,
time I heard it, I say, hey man, what about everybody else?
I say, yo, God, this is one thing God don't do. He don't just exclude. He ain't talking about let's just bless America and nobody else. That's not how that goes.
That's not love at all.
You know what I'm saying? That's why it's on a scale of where it's going to. You got your whole system, you got your voting system, you got all this stuff that's going, all your technology, all the stuff that you want answered, all this stuff that you have religion, the false religions, they're going to pave a way for a day that you can't even return. That and the day the machine is already spinning and going in that motion. So this stuff is irreversible. You know what I'm saying? The kingdoms that's going to be set up here, not the forever kingdoms, but the seat that's going to try to be established here by the people, by the religious people who want peace. You want peace on this earth without God, you're going to receive peace. You're going to receive, like, I believe, 7 years of fake peace from the Antichrist.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have your peace down here and all that type of stuff.
And that's your reward.
Then you're going to see chaos.
Yeah.
Right after that. So I'm saying with your voting system, so vote them on in. You want everybody to go to the polls and vote? Do your thing. I'm not against that. I know our people died for that kind of right, but not for the rights that you guys are using it for. Same with your military, man.
Yeah.
So, moving to the next one, which is the one that gets everybody. We talked about all this, but it's crazy. It just all lines up. Can you trust religion regarding your money? Keep your money in your pocket. Things of that nature.
Yeah, my pocket.
You know what I'm saying? So, once again, real people experience. Estella was a regular churchgoer with several children. I told my minister that I wanted to learn about the Bible, she says, but he never offered to teach her. Finally, she stopped attending church. She continues, the church officials wrote and basically said that if you could not be there, just send money. I thought, they don't even care if I attend. They just want my money.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Angelina, who has always been religious, said, in my church, they passed the basket 3 times each worship service, and we were expected to give each time. They were always asking for money. I thought to myself, they don't have God's spirits. Do the religions in your area employ direct or subtle pressure to obtain money? And is that in harmony with the Bible? No, it is not, because if you notice, every example in the Bible of people giving to God.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get this right. There is nothing wrong with the church taking collections. They have to. They have to have some form of way. It's non-profit. Yeah. You know, it has to be some form of, you're receiving this good knowledge. It's going to make you want to give.
Compels you to take care
but
of
in the Bible,
your own place.
In every instance where there was time for a collection plate, it was up to the person and their situation in life. You gave what you could afford.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And it was looked at as just as much as the richest man put in that pot.
Yep.
You're not supposed to hawk people talking about you have to pay 10%. Man, look here, bro.
Pay at least $20.
Yo, the widow's mite. What he's talking about? There was a widow's mite, and the widow. It was a lot of people putting in big things, and the widow put in. I guess she had a mite back then. A mite. I don't know what that represented. Half a cent or whatever it did. But God looked upon that
and said, "Wow,"
because she gave all she had.
All
you know
she had.
A rich man can give you 10 racks and it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, come here, here you go.
Because he's just
right.
just throwing stuff away.
Yeah.
But if you talking about, I might not eat after church. Yeah, I might not eat afterwards, but I'm gonna give it. And it's really not, because one thing, like how we said before, God owns everything. He don't want no parts of our money.
Right.
Sometimes it's just a thing of like, look here, man. Now, I done healed 5 or 6 people, and there's a story about that type of thing, the lepers, and only one came back. Now, God didn't require nobody to come back, but he loves when you come back. Anybody would.
Yeah.
If I do something for you, and you come back and say, hey, Keith, man, I sure thank you, bro. I was in a little hard something. You know what I'm saying? It opens my heart to even want to receive you when you come back again. Not that my heart should be hard because you didn't thank me, because that ain't just the thing we got into it for, but he's trying to give us a situation of like, bro, I'm doing something here for you. When you get your situation, think about me. That was the thing what Cain was mad at Abel about, because when Abel got his first crops came in of whatever God put him over.
Yeah.
He gave him the top knot. He didn't give him the lint in his pocket. He said, "You're my God. You're my king. You get first. You get my first things." Right. That's all. That's all the institution of this is supposed to be teaching us. But it has gotten exploited. They do pass the basket around 4 times.
Yeah.
I've seen a church where they had an ATM inside. You know what I'm saying? That's on the reels. Whoa. And you go. So if you don't got your change, you gonna go get. You gonna be able to do your situation.
ATM, son?
Yes, sir.
I ain't never seen that. I ain't never seen no ATM.
What? ATM inside. So you go do your business right there. So it has become money. It has become, like I said, it's a business. Now when things become a business,
that's a good way to put it.
When it comes to business, that's why Jesus had to tear up that church. That one time when he was down, he said, "Now my father's house is not going to be a den of thieves. This is a house of prayer." He made a strap. He whipped them out of there because you're not going to do my father's house.
This is why I'm saying, this is why I look at all these, these so-called preachers. Anytime you paying,
they'll have their day though.
Anytime you're paying to see these so-called preachers, pastors, anytime you're buying a ticket like you're going to a concert.
Yeah, that's a little different.
At a big arena.
Yeah, that's
I see the Joel Osteens and the T.D. Jakes and all these people, and they charging for these tickets. I don't care if I say their name or not. You're charging these people for what should be free.
Yeah, the word of God is free.
The word of God is free.
Now, God will make sure that the man of God gets blessed,
bro.
But you don't have to go after that like that.
Exactly.
The word of God is free, and if you're teaching them the right truth, not misinforming them, it's going to move them to want to give what they have without you pressing them to do that. So, like I said, what you're doing, you're proving yourselves to be frauds.
Yeah.
But
it gets lines up with the Bible, with the false prophets, and there's going to be people who do these things. That's why. So a lot of this stuff. That's why I love the way God do it. He's the coolest. I keep thinking I'm cool. God is so cool. Yeah. He act like, it just seemed like, what I'm going to leave. Because he don't wear no watch. So time's nothing to him. That's why people, God ain't coming back. He been saying he coming back. He like, yo, I'm just giving time. I'm actually giving mercy. I'm not looking at it like I'm about to kill these dudes. He looking at it like, I don't want you to have to go through my wrath. Because it's not the devil we fearing here. At the end of the thing, we're being saved from God's wrath.
Right.
And I want that to be very, very clear.
It ain't the devil you need to be worried about because the story
is
written.
Over.
We
that
need the fear of God in us.
That actually is done already. He's defeated him already.
He's lost already.
But we haven't caught up with that time yet. We're still in the middle time. He's already seen that. God's already seen that. Satan already knows that. That's why he's trying to collect and confuse, make many religions, and get our mind state to get away from God, because he knows that he's short. So he wants as many people like Misery Loves Company. He wants as many to be disqualified like him.
And before we move on to the next thing, just like you said when we were talking about the atheists, when you just said Misery Loves Company. Because if you think about it, if you think about the atheists, I know for a fact when I'm content with the decision that I've made, I don't need you. I don't need you. I don't need my wife. I don't need nobody to bag me if if my mind is made up. I'm confident on what I know. Nobody's going to change my mind.
No, sir.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's going to change my mind. So like, I don't understand how. We were talking about what was
atheist joints.
Yeah, atheist. I don't understand how they say they don't believe in God, but they're not content with that decision. Because if you were content You wouldn't need nobody else to ride with you. Why are you going out trying to promote what you believe in? Why are you trying to make everybody else miserable? Yeah. Because you're miserable not believing in God. Trust me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're miserable.
Yeah, they are.
It's something missing in your life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even if you feel like there's no God and you're wondering what's missing in your life.
Yep. That's it.
That's what it is. That's everything.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's missing in any and everybody's life that don't see. If you think you're missing something, it's that. And this is not even a call for religion or to join a church or institution. This is just to get a relationship with God. You can do that tonight. You can go down on your knees and say, God, help me get a relationship with you. I don't know who you is like that. Show me who you is and help me. Come into my life. Shoot, he'll be right there. It says that heaven throws a celebration. All the angels are all in almost like a celebratory kind of thing when one person accepts Christ.
Yeah, it's true.
When one person goes to God, because that's the only way you get to God is through his son. So it's recorded in the Bible that heaven gets happy about that. Over one.
They have a little concert.
Over one soul.
Like,
over one. Yeah. That's how
check it out.
He knows the hairs on our head. That's how detailed God is to us, man.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've talked about a lot in this first episode. You know what I'm saying? I think this is actually the first time we've actually went over an hour.
Man.
On an episode because it's so real. But this kind of topic deserves that every minute it gets, every second it gets.
Yeah.
It deserves it because and again, we doing this for the people that may not know, man. Like this is what we're talking about is way more important. I can guarantee you than what them other people talking about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody cares, about the garbage that goes on in the music industry. Nobody really cares. Well, people do, but they shouldn't.
Right.
Again, that's people. People are so interested in seeing celebrities and things make mistakes because why? They're miserable.
Yep.
They want to feel miserable. They want to feel like they're not the only miserable ones in life.
Yeah.
You're not. Newsflash, almost every human on earth that don't know the truth about God is miserable. Yeah. Whether they want to admit it or not.
Yeah.
They're miserable.
Yeah, man, that's real.
You know what I'm saying? So this is why we do this podcast, to talk about the things people don't want to talk about. And it's not always about God. It could be about a relationship. It could be about something that y'all tell us y'all want to talk about. But we gonna talk the truth about it.
It could be about the
that's
job,
all we
jail,
do. Truth talk. And until the next episode, we thank y'all for joining us.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all check out the part 2 to this because it's going to be even deeper.
Always check that out.
Even more informative. Until next time, I'm Krayzie Bone.
I am the bum Keith G.
And I'm Angie.
And y'all remember, the truth is always talking. You just gotta listen.
Right.